This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Eala draws world number 15 in U.S. Open opener. The stage is set and Alex is ready for action. Meanwhile, Alcaraz, Djokovic face tough early tests. Tennis drama is ready to unfold early in New York. The green light is on. Alas, Pilipinas players cleared to suit up in PVL Invitational. Rain floods Gymnastics training center and athletes and volunteers unite to get back to training. Paige Bueckers makes history with 44-point rookie masterpiece. In F1, Hamilton struggles at Ferrari and the fans fire back at Vasseur excuses. And get to know rising Philippine triathlon star Kira Ellis. Our sports correspondent Sheila Salaysay reports on how this inspiring Filipina turned a setback into a golden comeback. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 22nd of August. Now, here's our roundup. Filipina tennis star Eala is ready for her U.S. Open Women's Main Draw debut. The 20-year-old shared photos in the Big Apple before she hits the courts at the USTA Billie Jean King Tennis Center. This will be Eala's third Grand Slam Main Draw appearance of the year after competing at the French Open and Wimbledon. She returns to action after sitting out the Cincinnati and Monterrey Opens due to a shoulder injury, leading to her sliding to world number 70. In the first round, Eala faces a daunting task against Denmark's Clara Tauson, currently world number 15. The 22-year-old Tauson already owns 3 WTA titles and is fresh off a stunning semifinal run in Canada, where she took down Iga Swiatek and Madison Keys. Eala, a Rafa Nadal Academy graduate, earned her Grand Slam opportunities after breaking into the top 75 with a sensational Miami Open semifinal run. Now, she looks to make her mark against one of the tour's elite. All eyes on New York as Eala carries the flag and fights for history at the U.S. Open. Meanwhile, top men's seeds Carlos Alcaraz and Novak Djokovic could face tough challenges right out of the gate. Alcaraz, the number 2 seed, starts against Riley Opelka, the 6'11" American who reached the 4th round in 2021 with his bombs-away serve. Alcaraz won his first U.S. Open title the following year and has added 4 more Grand Slams since. Djokovic, the men's record holder with 24 Grand Slams, seeks his 5th U.S. Open title. The 38-year-old will face 19-year-old left-hander Lerner Tien in the opening round, with potential showdowns against Taylor Fritz, Alcaraz, and number 1 Jannik Sinner later in the tournament. On the women's side, Venus Williams returns at 45, drawing number 11 seed Karolina Muchova, who reached the semifinals in New York the past 2 years, making this an early highlight match. Coco Gauff, the 2023 champ, opens against Ajla Tomljanovic, setting the stage for a potential blockbuster quarterfinals. Defending champion Aryna Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, and Madison Keys could also face major challenges in their path to the final. The U.S. Open is back with early upsets, legendary comebacks, and the next generation ready to shake the courts. Flushing Meadows promises drama from day one. In volleyball, it is official. The Alas Pilipinas Stars are back on club duty. PVL President Ricky Palou confirmed that national team players have been cleared by the Philippine National Volleyball Federation to play in the PVL Invitational. Alea Malaluan, this year's number 9 pick in the draft, made her pro debut with PLDT. Meanwhile, fan favorite Jennifer Nierva suited up for Cherry Tigo Thursday night at the Phil Sports Arena. Palou shared that the decision came after PNVF President Tat Susara met with league officials, allowing clubs to welcome back their stars early. Other big names like Del Palomata, Vanny Gandler, and Don Katindig are still waiting for their first action in the invitation. And here's the twist. Even as they compete for their clubs, Alas Pilipinas will keep training for the 33rd SEA Games. 3 sessions a week until this tournament wraps, with plans to train abroad later this year. Heavy rains pounded Manila this week, causing flooding inside the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines Training Center in Intramuros. But instead of halting training, athletes and volunteer parents from the GAP developmental team sprang into action. Together, they dried the facility and cleared the floodwaters in record time. With the floor safe again, training quickly resumed. The moment was a snapshot of Filipino grit, turning adversity into opportunity. For these young gymnasts, the message was clear. Nothing, not even a flooded gym, will stop their road to excellence. Now in Formula 1, Lewis Hamilton, 7-time F1 world champion, has faced a tough start in his first season with Ferrari. And the fans are not holding back. Team principal Fred Vasseur defended the Brit, saying the team stupidly expected too much in Hamilton's maiden SF25 season. He pointed to the 18 years Hamilton spent at Mercedes in a familiar environment as a factor. Fans reacted immediately and took to social media with comments ranging from more excuses to calling Hamilton overconfident or even washed. The Brit is currently 6th in the drivers' standings with 109 points, still searching for his first podium of the season. Meanwhile, Mercedes boss Toto Wolff believes Hamilton can still become an 8-time champion, but only if he has a car he trusts completely. All eyes will be on Hamilton next weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix, where he'll look to silence the critics and regain his form on the track. Moving on to basketball, Paige Bueckers, the top pick in this year's draft, dropped 44 points in the Dallas Wings' 81-80 loss to the Los Angeles Sparks, setting a new WNBA rookie record. The 20-year-old phenom was deadly efficient, making 17 of 21 shots, hitting all 4 of her three-pointers, and nailing 6 free throws. She became the first player in league history with 40-plus points on 80% shooting from the floor. Bueckers surpassed Candace Parker's rookie mark of 40 points in 2008 and even outpointed the league this season in a single game. She also contributed 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Despite her record-breaking night, Bueckers kept her focus on team success. Rookie or not, Paige Bueckers is already leaving her mark on WNBA history, and she's only just getting started. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Do you know what an undercut means in Formula 1? In F1, an undercut is a strategic move in Formula 1 where a driver pits earlier than the car ahead to get fresh tires, aiming to use the extra pace to overtake when the rival pits later. Essentially, it's cutting under the competitor through pit strategy rather than on-track overtaking. Teams often employ the undercut when they believe fresh tires will allow their driver to set faster lap times and gain track position during the rival's pit stop. Timing is critical. If done too early or late, it can backfire. It's time for our off-court buzzer. Serena Williams, one of tennis's all-time greats, has revealed a stunning physical transformation. The 43-year-old icon announced she lost over 30 pounds after using a weight loss drug called GLP-1. Williams said this journey began after the birth of her first daughter. Despite years of professional athletic training, she struggled to reach her personal health goals. After her second child, she decided to try something new. GLP-1 is a drug that mimics a hormone to make one feel fuller faster, used to aid weight loss and to manage blood sugar levels in people with type 2 diabetes. Fans first noticed her transformation in July when she shared gym photos online. 23 Grand Slams, 2 decades of dominance, and now a new chapter in health and fitness. Serena continues to defy limits. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 22nd of August. When we return, get to know rising Philippine triathlon star Kira Ellis. Our sports correspondent Sheila Salaysay reports on how this inspiring Filipina turned a setback into a golden comeback. So better keep it right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to the Scorecard. Now here's an inspiring comeback story. Teen triathlete Kira Ellis turned doubt into dominance and pain into podium gold as she ruled the 2025 European Triathlon Junior Cup Junior Women's Division in Riga, Latvia. Ellis clocked a time of 1 hour, 5 minutes, and 7 seconds, outlasting Belgium's Luca van der Bruggen and Germany's Sarah Walter in a nail-biting finish. But this victory was more than just a race. It was redemption. So, let's get to know more about this sensational Filipina. Here's our sports correspondent, Sheila Salaysay, with this report.
Frederic Vasseur starts un neparkāja īpaši no 20 nedrīkst Filipīnā. Četā, redzēsim, kā būs spiešana.
At just 18 years old, Kira Ellis is already proving herself as one of the brightest young triathletes in the Philippines.
Sveiksim uzvarētāji!
Her story is not just about victories, it's about resilience, setbacks, and the courage to keep moving forward. Kira Ellis grew up in a family of triathletes. From the sidelines of races in Subic, she eventually found herself on the starting line at just 6 years old. What began as a childhood hobby quickly grew into a passion that would define her journey, but the road has not always been easy. Earlier this year, Ellis suffered a spleen injury that kept her out of competition for half a year. Doctors only cleared her to return 2 weeks before a major tournament. It was her biggest win, she admitted in a recent interview. Not because of the medal itself, but because she didn't know if she'd even make a comeback after being out for 6 months. Just standing at the starting line again felt like victory, she mentioned. Behind the comeback was her mother, who also serves as her coach. From guiding her recovery to managing her training, her mother has been both mentor and motivator. Kira credits that bond as one of her biggest strengths, having someone who knows her as an athlete but also as a daughter. She hadn't really done any interval sessions, mostly just steady runs, so she weren't sure where her run would, she wrote. Still, she found perspective. For her, just getting on a starting line again was all she wished for, based on her swim and bike training. She knew she had a shot at the podium. But she tried not to put too much pressure on herself and just enjoy racing again. From a little girl in kiddie triathlons to a national athlete overcoming injury, Kira Ellis is showing the resilience of a champion. Her story is not just about medals and rankings, but about strength, the family, and the belief that every comeback is a victory in itself. Kira Ellis proved that the toughest races are not always on the course, but in the fight to return. Reporting for the Scorecard, Sheila Salaysay, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Up next, a rematch that could turn into a rivalry. Bueckers is fired up, but the Storm have the experience and depth to push back hard. Who finds the court to dominate? We're about to find out. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. So let's just say this up front. If you thought Paige Bueckers' 44-point explosion against the Sparks was a fluke, think again. The rookie phenom is carrying the wings on her back, scoring in spades, breaking records, and showing that this girl right here, Paige Bueckers, she can go head-to-head with the very best. But now, she's facing a Seattle Storm team that knows how to close out road games and defend their house, well, their court. On paper, Seattle has the experience edge. Nneka Ogwumike is a machine. Skylar Diggins Landrigan can turn a game around with one dribble. And this team knows how to pace itself through the West. They're holding opponents to 44.1% shooting, with kids like Dominic Malonga making history with over 100 field goals before age 20. This Storm team is very young. They're hungry and deadly. But here's the catch. Dallas is stacking rebounds like it's a catching competition, 35.7 per game. And Miisha Hines-Allen is always a threat on the glass. They're short-handed. Sure, but Paige is playing like she's 30 points ahead of her age, and the Wings have been late-game warriors. Now, remember that Sparks game? They lost by 1 point, just 1 point. This team finds ways to stay alive even when the odds are stacked. So the storyline is simple. Rookie star versus road veterans. Experience versus momentum. Can Bueckers carry Dallas against a team that has a history of clutch performances, or will Seattle use its combination of Ogumike, Diggins, and, of course, the defensive intensity to put the Wings back in their place? This game is a character check for both sides. So buckle up. It's Western Conference basketball, and it's the kind of showdown that tells you who's really built for the finals push. Stay ahead of the game as the Storm look to assert control on the road while the Wings hunt for another rookie-led miracle. Here's your breakdown of the matchups coming up this weekend all the way through Monday. And that's a wrap on our Storm Wings preview. One team looking to reassert its dominance, the other fighting for every bucket. High energy, big plays, no room for error. So tune in, lock in, and as always, keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From one of the most dominant forces in modern tennis, known for his speed, court vision, and unwavering determination, Carlos Alcaraz once said, motivation comes from accepting challenges and enjoying tough battles. You know, when we were beginning here at BNC, we thought about the daunting challenge ahead, thinking about how we were going to spread the news to everybody. And we are so happy because we just received word that we have already 1 million followers on Facebook. Kaya naman, sa lahat ng mga bumubuo ng Bilyonaryo News Channel, most especially sa lahat ng mga nagpupuyat para manood ng The Scorecard, maraming salamat po for sharing the good news to your friends, your families, and your loved ones. Sana palakasin pa natin yung ibang mga social media platforms ng BNC, sa Instagram, sa TikTok, at sa X. Again, mula sa BNC at sa The Scorecard, maraming salamat po. And malapit na rin po ang ating anniversary, September 9. So again, thank you so much for all your support. And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week on The Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening and happy weekend. Happy long weekend.